That good old one road in there.
Oh, we got one more. Right on time.
Zaddy.
No,
Give Leah a few
I
minutes.
started saying, give Leah a few minutes.
Oh, give Leah a few minutes. Well,
More no, we're saying like, give her a few minutes.
oh yeah, she'll
I'll
be
wait on
here.
her.
No.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
My Jenny Beth has been learning about it in Alabama history, and she's begged for me to go to take her. So I'm gonna wait until she gets out of school.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
really
a good
want
thing.
That'd be a good
Yes.
civic lesson.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking to a builder this morning. They said that they're doing like, they're not homeschool, but they over the past like 3 days, they've been talking to their kids about voting, the importance of it, and they're taking their kids to go vote. So
Yeah.
neat
It's a
stuff.
good thing.
Yeah. All right.
You know, your first vote in life was for Ross Perot.
That's Donna.
Yes, the only Donna would appreciate that.
I don't even remember. Oh, was that it?
In the barn.
Yeah.
Nutcase. Oh my God.
I think I felt
you
bad
voted
for
for
him.
him.
You
Yeah.
did.
I think
You
I
did.
do vaguely.
Because you were so
I
young.
wouldn't say that out loud.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Did I say
But
something out loud?
we all grow up. We make better decisions. So.
Yes, we
I think we were like 6, but they had their own little voting poll.
do. He was a spoiler candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Y'all make good choices today now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vote correctly.
Yes.
Is what I like to say.
And if you need
Vote
to know who it
correctly.
is, I'll be happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, we're gonna get this kicked off, guys. The handouts uploaded on Dropbox, and what I'm gonna do is where we're kind of gonna be staring at the numbers. I'm just gonna share my screen and go over, you know, kind of line by line for the virtual guys. Virtual, we've got handouts in person here, but anyway, everybody virtual? Can they see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. So. I first want, who's had wins, well, I do want to say, anybody have wins on a Monday? Because Monday was tough for me. Anybody have some wins?
Put my condo under contract.
Hey, we got one under contract. That's awesome.
Got
I
one.
closed on Ware Road.
Abby had a closing. How many offers were you up to on Cotton Lakes?
9.
9 offers on
Wow.
Cotton Lakes.
That's really good.
awesome.
Under
Yeah.
contract.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also, you know,
At that point, do they all like,
No, I was
were
shocked.
they all
Out
different?
of the 9, 3 were not filled out fully, the
Yeah.
contract.
Because they don't understand the new contract.
no.
And one was the old contract, and when I said, can you please, like, send it on the new, since the law changes, she says, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty
How did she
reputable
even-
brokerage too.
Yeah, I told her, I said, you got to get a
Yeah.
hold of your broker, and,
Yeah.
but. it
Clearly,
was-
she's not on the MLS.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has it saved in her documents and just
Yeah.
printed it out.
Yeah. One thing I do want to share is you did letter tucks to everybody in that neighborhood in Cotton Lakes, right?
And in Hillside.
Yeah, yeah, and Hillside. And so out of those letter tucks, you had 2 listings. You did letter tucks on every, you know, both those listings. And you have how many people interested in selling?
Hills, 3.
3? Okay. So that's 1 in Hillside,
1 in Hillside.
1 in Hillside, and then 2 more in Cotton Lakes, right?
Nice.
And another
I got
thing.
a really nasty voicemail from Cotton Lake.
Oh,
the
that-
funny
that-
thing is,
Yeah.
she said, now and it was the husband that I had spoken to that wants me to contact him as soon as this sold.
Yeah.
She said, now he said you were nice, so I'm not gonna waste the time to go after you. I was just like,
What?
I kid you
Yeah.
not.
Morning, Leah.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
but yes,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the biggest
Wait a
thing
minute.
is,
The HOA got after you for sending a
no,
memo?
just.
It's just some random person. Yeah, that it happens. I've got, I think since Saturday, I've had 3 voicemails of people cussing me out
Yeah,
from
I mean, it's been
whatever.
crazy.
It's part of
Wow.
it.
But
Yeah.
the
Great
greatest,
Yeah.
the greatest thing for me, truthfully, was that the seller of Cotton Lakes got 3 phone calls on
Yeah.
how impressed they were with the marketing, with the fact that we brought flyers. They had never had that done when they listed. But
Yeah.
he was so impressed because people were calling him. you
Yeah.
know.
Wow, you're going back old school.
Yeah.
That's what it's taken you.
Yeah, well, I think that was kind of my point, because I wanted to make sure and bring that up during this meeting, is the fact of like, I remember, I think we all remember Jim Bailey when he was selling, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Melanie Bailey, yeah. He kind of took me under his wing, even though I weren't working with his company or anything like that. And one of the things I remember him telling me is because he always had like a 2-page spread in Tri-County ads when people were still doing Tri-County ads. And I talked to him about it. I said this, like I've got listings. I had like 12 listings at the time. I was really thinking about doing this. And he goes, for what reason? And I said, just to try to sell the houses. He goes, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He said, that is not really to sell the houses. It's marketing for me to show that I'm in the process and show people that I do work, and it's a way for me to get listings. And I think it's similar to what you experienced when doing the door tucks, is that we've got to remember a lot of times, yes, we're marketing to sell house, but people are watching constantly. People watch what we do constantly. The more we show we work, the more we show we're active and proactive in all of our efforts, the more business we will end up getting. Let's see here. If you guys will help me out, if you are not talking actively, will you mute yourself, just because we've got the volume up on the computer, that way we can hear you guys talk. But anyway, but that's, I think that's an important thing to remember as we're going through, marketing homes. A lot of times what we do is to get more business. It's kind of that spend to win process, right? Like everything we do kind of matters. Every time we take a listing, we should have systems and processes to do that. So, but I think that's an important thing. Leah, have any big wins on a Monday?
Well, Haynes is back on the market,
Oh, God.
but they are gonna go down on the price. So
Okay, well, good.
That's a
Good. Yeah, count the wins, count the wins.
probably
count
gonna
the
have to do as is,
wins. Where
cash
is,
conventional.
yeah, don't come look at it, just buy it, then open the door. Yeah, all the fun stuff. Yeah. All right, yeah. I see you were on a listing appointment? Was that yesterday, Sunday? How'd it go?
It's okay. I mean, I have some questions about that, like what to do in that situation, but maybe for another time.
Okay, yeah, definitely, yeah. Anytime, yeah, well, let me know, and then we'll make sure it kind of gets to the word. So I'm gonna kick it off, the meeting. I think everybody that's gonna come is here now. I kind of, with the season that we're in, we're, all well into the fourth quarter. We're almost at the end of the year. And so this is the time when we are always networking, we're always holiday events, we're around lots of people, there's always something to do. And so the goal of mindset is just a question is, do people want to be around you? And this thought came,
I don't wanna be.
yeah, I don't like I don't like myself half the time. So like, I get it, but I do want to give it some thought and kind of change the perspective a little bit, because we all have people that we probably have come across that are just seem to be like social butterflies, that people are just attracted to them. People are like magnetized to them. And we have probably in our own lives, we have people that are confidants, right? You call when something great happens. You call when something bad happens. You share information with them. And to me, this has been a couple years ago, I really started like thinking why that is. And a lot of times we think it's just because of who they are. But the reality is it's probably something to do with that, but more so than anything, it's the way that person makes you feel, right? When you can call with somebody with good news and they're happy for you, that trust level just builds up faster. When you call someone with bad news and they actually are concerned and compassionate and empathetic to your situation, the trust is just so much higher. And so I really believe that we kind of are all capable of being that person that has that magnetic personality. And a lot of times we get ourselves in our own way from it. It's like, what do we have of offer? How can we impress them? How can we be of value? It's not that. What it is making people make sure that they know they're cared about. That's the secret sauce of those people that when you go around and you see at networking events that everybody comes up to, that when you come up to them, they call you by your name, right? When they actually talk to you. They know people on a personal level. They make sure and take time to talk to people. They're not dismissive. They make sure people feel good. And so as we're moving into this season of all of the networking events, all of the gatherings, all of the fun stuff, make sure that kind of keep that question in mind, like before it starts, like, do people want to be around me? Make sure you have that positive energy. Make sure you have because it just goes so much further than people realize. I'll be honest with you. It really, it's okay. Just tear up the camera. It's all right. No, it's fine. It's fine. How it is good. So, but anyway, but it's just really something to think about. And so I put in there, key to being someone people want to be around isn't so much what you have to offer, it's how you make them feel. That's really what it is. Like all of your confidants, it has everything to do with how that person makes you feel. Has nothing to do with what they give you. Absolutely nothing. It's all in how they make you feel. So anyway, that's the kind of goal mindset. I always bring something, and I think that's super, super important to keep in the forefront of our mind. When we're going out networking, we're seeing all of the people, you know. All right, helpful tidbit, how not to follow up. Right? Like I think that's super, super important because we all have clients that ghost us. We all have clients that we need to check in, and a lot of times we lead with maybe, hey, I just wanted to see how you know, maybe not see how you are, but just wanted to see if you'd gotten that email. Just wanted to see if you checking in, something like that. That's really not a very productive way to start a conversation. And the reason why is because it's easily dismissed. Okay. It's very, very, very easily dismissed. If you got a random text message from somebody that's trying to sell you something and it's just like, just checking in, you wouldn't feel the need to respond, right? But if they ask you a specific question, like if you have a buyer, it's like, did you see the house on 123 Main Street? Did you see the bathroom inside of it? Because I know you love master baths. Be specific when you ask people questions when you're following up with clients. And the reason why is because you kind of put them on the spot where it's a simple yes or no, or they're able to answer a question. It was something that my first coach taught me that years and years ago, and it's really changed the game on the amount of people that actually respond to my text messages, respond to my emails, call me back, all the fun stuff. Another thing is if you ever have a client that will simply just not call you back, like you can't get in touch with them or whatever. I actually picked this up from Jimmy Parsons about 6 years ago. Jimmy's the one who told me this, and I think we all know of Jimmy Parsons. If you have somebody that just won't call you back, that's ghosting you, whatever it is, right? You spent, a couple days. You simply pick up the phone and you let it go to voicemail. When the voicemail, you hear the beep, you simply say, hey, this is Lyle, call me as soon as you get this. And you hang up the phone. And the reason why is because you create a sense of urgency. And it works almost every single time. Because they don't know what it is. There's a level of uncertainty in there. Like, if you create that sense of urgency,
It ticks me off, but you won't.
do what?
That kind of voicemail just makes me mad.
Oh, it does make you mad? Yeah.
Just tell me.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you want.
Oh, yeah, but you call back, right?
Probably.
Yeah, you call back every time. That's the point of it, right? So if you really need to get in touch with a client or something's happening, it's just one of those things you can keep in, like, call it the last resort close or whatever you want to call it, but keep it in your back pocket. It's a great way to actually get that phone call returned. Of course, you always have the chance of making someone upset, like Abby, but but at the end of the day, if you truly believe in what you're doing, if you're intentional about what you're doing, you need to be able to talk to these people. And sometimes it could be a conversation about saving them thousands of dollars or not making a mistake or whatever it is, and you need to have that conversation, but they just don't know the sense of urgency. So by creating that sense of urgency, you're able to have that conversation. All right, I wanted to bring back case study. We used to do it a lot. Yeah, and I think and it's not, there's not an answer on this handout, so don't, like, for those of you who are used to case studies, there's not an answer, so don't flip it. Yeah, I know you were. I know, that's why I said that. There's not an answer. This is more of a general discussion. And so we're kind of, this was relevant probably in the months leading up to today, but I also think it's going to be just as relevant with the months leading up coming to spring, okay? And so the scenario is, so you're having conversations with just anybody about real estate, buyers, sellers, investors, and the common phrase you will hear this time of year, I'm going to wait until. It could be after election, it could be after holidays, it could be after spring, it's going to be whatever it is, right? So very quickly, Donna, we're going to start with you. We're going to put you on the spot. You good with that? Okay.
Sure.
Donna, I say I'm going to wait until after the holidays to sell. How would you respond to me?
Well, depending on what they said, I would probably say, what can I do to help you feel better about this situation? Like, they're waiting for the election. Why?
Okay.
Does it make a difference who wins if you're going to go out and vote, or
Sure.
go out and get a house, or So I always try to see if I can calm their fears of whatever it is that they're worried
Good.
about.
Yeah.
Or if they want to wait till the spring, because the winter's not a good month. Well,
Okay.
who told you that?
Yeah, okay.
Why do you think that? Because I've always had good, good responses and good sales in winter, all through the year, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
So I just try to allay their fear, calm them down.
Okay, all right. Abby?
Well, that's when I start asking a bunch of questions. First and foremost is why,
Yeah.
and just kind of talk it out with them. And mainly, it's right now I'm dealing with a lot of first-time home buyers and first-time home sellers. So there's just a lot of fear of the unknown, and it's not that they want to wait. It's just that they just don't understand the
Yeah.
process and understand.
They have this
Everything.
preconceived notion
Yes.
from a title that
Yes.
says all the home sales happen in
Exactly.
spring and summer.
Right.
All right. Mom, what would you say?
I mean, sadly, it's.
Same thing?
It really
Yeah.
is about figuring out what really is the problem.
What the
It's
root
not
of
that
the
they
issue.
want to wait.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
what is the problem?
Yeah.
And finding that out.
All right. Kennedy?
I kind of agree with what everybody else said.
Okay. Leah, anything to add?
Same.
Same? Hop on virtually. Carol, are you there?
I'm here.
What would you say in that scenario?
I, again, try to allay their feelings and why they think waiting till after the election or waiting till after the holidays is the best time. I always tell people, we sell homes 12 months a year.
Yeah.
And some of my biggest sales months were always in December
Me
for
too.
several years.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Mugs?
Basically the same, but I put a little twist on it, whether I'm despairing others or not, I really don't care. But I've always typically.
Take your
had
medicine,
great months in December, January, and the reason is a lot of agents that are part-time, that don't really, are not aggressive as I am, from Thanksgiving out, they're pretty much, they go south.
Yeah.
They've got other things to do, holidays. People still buy houses. A lot of people need to buy houses by the end of the year.
Especially investors.
There's always people looking, and I'm going to be the one that works 24/7, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a Sunday before Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still people that buy, but there are a lot of agents that kind of go away during the.
Okay, so if I heard you right, your angle on that response is more so setting yourself apart from all of the other agents.
I don't ask them why they don't want to sell. I tell them why they need to sell.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, similar to my approach. Yeah, I dig it. I like what you did there with using that as an opportunity though to separate yourself from the other agents. Like,
Yeah.
90% of the agents don't work during the holidays or spring, and this is the busiest time for me because I get after it. I like that. I like that a lot. So, Dawn may be there.
I'm not needed anymore. Pretty much the same thing. Find out why.
Okay.
Talk it through. And historically, January, the end of December, 1st of January, people are thinking about New Year's resolutions. That's always been a really busy time for me.
Okay. All right.
I had
So-
4 closings last January.
Yeah.
So-
November or October, November is one of my biggest months every single year. So,
A lot of times investors want to get some properties before the end of the year for tax purposes,
yeah.
so.
Danny, do you have anything to add?
No. 'Cause I wasn't too sure what I was gonna say, but then hearing everybody else, it gave me the idea of what to say.
Good. You have the best microphone here. Yeah, absolute best. So you were loudest. Muggs, you want something to
I
add?
don't even have a microphone.
Yeah, one thing I do always tell them when during this time period from Thanksgiving to New Year is that you want to be the one out there, because if people are looking to buy a house that time of year, they are serious.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not tire kickers just out, cruising around, checking out what neighborhood's like.
Yeah.
If they're literally, if you got a good qualified buyer that time of year, they are actively trying to buy a house. So that's the best time sometimes to
Right.
I dig it.
catch them while it's hot.
I dig it. Brittany, do you have anything to add? And good morning, by the way. So,
Good morning.
oh,
I just don't really have anything to add, except I wanted to say that I think that there may be a missed opportunity if they don't sell.
Yeah.
If they're ready, there may be a buyer out there that will find something else
Sure.
if they don't put their home on the market now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
It's good to be here this morning.
Oh yeah, good to have you. Good to have you. That was Brenda. Sorry, Brenda, Brittany. It sounds the same. Yeah. But thanks. And Brittany, what do you have anything to add?
I don't. I agree with Danny though. Hearing everybody gives me ideas because that's something I get hit with a lot.
Yeah. There's always there's always 99% of the time, whenever someone says an objection, it always has to deal with money or timing or personal reasons. That's really the root of it. Like 99% of the time, all objections are the exact couple different things.
Yep.
That's really what it is. And so like one of the good things is I heard a lot of was like we get nitty gritty down to the why. And the why always resorts back to, well, I'll get more money in summer. Or the why is, I'll sell it faster in the spring. Or the why is, I'll do it. You get what I'm saying? It all goes back to those things. So literally, should be a confidence booster for most everybody is that if you can handle those 3 objections, you can handle 99% of the objections that come your way, if you have an answer for those things. So personally, I always, like for me, like I hit them with stats. And so if you'll, I'll go to the handout real quick, but I also added all the, it's at the very end of why I buy so. But anyway, at the very end of it, as far as stats, like one of the big things a lot of people don't know, the most corporate moves, military moves happen during the holidays and first of the year. And so people don't realize that. To Mug's point, if you look at the data, the number of closings go down during the end of third, fourth quarter, and the beginning of the first quarter. But the price per home normally shoots up and normally. And so that's one of the changes to help change the perspective of that client is that do you want to be one of the many or do you want to be a quantity or do you want to be a quality sale? Do you want the most money you can? And also to Mug's point, the buyers of, that they're serious, that sellers have a lot more negotiating room. And also I remind them that supply and demand is directly correlated to your price of the sale of your home, right? And so if there's less supply, aka less homes for sale, you automatically create more demand in the marketplace. There's less competition. So the buyers that are seriously coming into the market, that are in the market right now, are very, very serious, and there's less homes to choose from. It's actually a better opportunity for you to get more money than you would likely get over the summer when everybody and their brother places their homes for sale. And so that's just a quick thing. And also if they're dead set on and they're still convinced, make it about the money. Ask them like if you're gonna net $3,000-4,000 more selling now versus later, would you have to wait? Put it in terms that they can actually understand. Like if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, based on the numbers, that the probability of getting more money, which is average on 0.5% to 1%, which is your home price is somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000, would you have to wait until the spring? Well, no. So what's preventing from getting the ball rolling today? What's preventing it? If it's really about the money, let's make it about the money. If it's really about a timing thing, now you can't really help that. If they're waiting for a job or whatever, they just put them on the follow-up. But anyway, I'm glad that was a good case study. Glad we all got to get a part of that. I'm gonna switch back over. My mouse is dead. Give me a second. So ideas for social media. Now's the time to stay top of mind. Now, this is the time. That's what I talked about. Can't remember what sales meeting, but we're in the season of building relationships, not focusing on closing deals, because the vast majority of people wait till spring or summer because of the timing situation, because of schools, because of whatever it is, right? They don't want to move their Christmas tree as well, right? That's just the reality of it, right? Moving sucks already. Let's not do it during we're stuffing the stockings. So with all of that, this is the prime time to plant the seeds. Okay, this is the prime time. If you're a user of social media or if you want to use social media, here is tons of ideas for content. Okay, to stay relevant, to stay in front of people. Gratitude schedule posting for Thanksgiving. We're coming up. This is this is the season to be grateful, to thank your clients, to thank everybody. 12 days of Christmas real estate style. You could do a funny thing. You have 12 days of content lined up. On the first day of Christmas, my the real estate gods gave to me or something like that, a insane buyer, right? Or whatever it is, a picky buyer. You could have fun with it, you know? New Year's resolution, goal setting, reflecting on the past year, post family events and gatherings. Reminder that social media is a way for people to know you without actually knowing you. That's a super, super important thing. So if you're the one that networks a lot, if you're the one that goes, Donna, you're at almost everything, right?
Right.
Make sure and post and let the people know that you're with the people. Because people want to be around people with that magnetic personality, going back to the goals mindset. Let them know that you're the person that everybody wants to be around, you know?
Of course.
Exactly. So just remind them of it, right? Like remind them, post them, you know, post out there. If you do pop-by gifts or something like that, make sure and post a quick selfie or whatever it is saying, I'm so grateful for my business and where it's at right now. This time of year, I really just shoot after and just go after my clients and tell them thank you. If they've ever done business with me or have ever sent business my way, and this is the Smiths and tell the story. Tell the story. People, that's a reminder for social media too. People fall in love with the story. They don't fall in love with what you accomplished or anything like that. They fall in love with the story. That's really what it is. If the story is, I go around this time of year and thank all the clients that helped me, that grow my business, and I stopped by and gave them a small gift. It can be a $5 Starbucks gift card. That's not what they remember. They remember the fact that you took time for your day and stopped by their house to check on them and tell them thank you. And everybody on social media wants to feel that. They all want to feel that. And so what you're doing is you're building yourself of the reputation of being the one that cares about people. That's what social media is about. It's not about being top producer or anything like that. It's about people getting to know you for who you are. Use that platform to do that. So tons of other ideas. It's also a good time to reintroduce yourself, remind people of who you are. You can do top events during the holidays, you know, the happenings around the area, you know, make sure people are up to date on that. That's what I do on my weekly emails. That's the biggest response. People look at my weekly emails, and when they view, a vast majority of them just scroll down to what's happening that weekend. Because I make sure and scroll Facebook events, crap that I never go to, but I make sure they know about it. I want them to go to my email to where they know about it, right? But anyway.
Well, this is the one thing that I think I have a well-rounded business, but my social media content is not that great, and that's one of the things.
What are you talking about? I just saw you post the fact that you spent time with family.
I just started doing this.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is something I really want to focus on for this coming up year, and these ladies sitting right here can really help me because y'all are good at it. So
yeah. It's not as complicated or complex as the vast majority thinks it is. It's just not. I mean, what you did with spending time with your family, just put that into action in other aspects of your business. You know, I think so what I post every morning is the Feed the Fire on my story. I do it every single morning while I'm on I call it my walk with God. That's what I do. I walk a mile, then I go work out, right? That's what I do. I don't do it to say that I work out. I don't do it that's not the reason behind it. I want people to know I'm consistent and I show up every single day. That's why. That's why I do that. It has nothing to do with working out, has nothing to do with my walk or anything like that. It's that you can count on me to be there in front of you every single day. That's why I do that. You come into the office every day except yesterday, which I thought was strange. But anyway. But anyway, you do that, right?
Yes.
And so you could take a part in that. You could do one post and say, I come to the office early every morning because I believe getting ahead of the day. I believe in getting ahead of the day so I can better serve my clients. You tell the story of why you do that. And what you do is you allow the people to know you before they even know you, right?
She's a work freak. That's all they'll know about.
But it's the intentionality behind the post that's important, right? And people see through that. Yeah. If you're just posting my social media sucks right now. The only thing that's on there is listings under contract sold. I've been slammed.
Just slap your hand.
I know, exactly. Do what I say, not what I do. But but anyway, I could just beat myself up for that right now. I'm trying to help y'all, and I'm not doing it. But anyway. But that's what I was thinking. It's like I am straying away from all of that. When I was doing the Wetumpka reels about the happenings in town, and when I was just posting what I had for lunch, like I thought about it yesterday and did people love it. People love it.
They want to know what you had for lunch?
Not so much that, but it was like if you're looking for the best burger and
Oh, yeah.
best burger
Okay,
in
I see what you're
Wetumpka,
saying.
post the Bush's Diner, like Bush's Diner. Got to go to Bush. It's closed now, but that's
Yeah.
what it was. People love that type of stuff. People, because what it does is it allows that person to relate to you. Now
Because they go to Bush's Diner.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
more you break down the barrier of approachability,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you're doing through all of this, the easier it is to get leads for people to remember you, whatever it is. Right?
And I have, when you start doing stuff like that, for me, I've had Christy Meaner from the Depot Player has invited me and my family to come to a show just so that I can make content.
Real.
Yeah. And then I've had the Biz lady ask me to come do like a little segment in there of my kids. So they're like asking me to come, but they don't want me to like, they want it to be like I went on my own. Does that make sense? They don't want
Not
the-
a commercial.
Yes,
Yeah.
they don't, like, they have both said, don't make it a thing, like, just make it like, we'll give you a free drink and you can come in and do this, but just come in and video it, so.
It's because so Abby's thing with there, and like I'm very analytical, so the way I view it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is people can see taking their kids to the
Right.
Fizz store and
Yes.
living in downtown.
Right.
And what Abby's done is positioned herself, if you want to live the Wetumpka lifestyle, call me, I can help you do that. That's the whole point of social media, is it's breaking down the barriers instead of, because the reality is that the vast majority of real estate agents post, like, they make it all about themselves,
Yes.
right? They make it all about themselves and what they've accomplished and the ranking report and whatever else. They make it about them. Well, going back to the goals and mindset, right? If we can all probably picture a person that is in the crowd that nobody really likes to talk to because all they do is talk about their new car, their new truck, what they've done, whatever it is, right? Well, that's what you're doing on social media. The exact opposite of that, and what people really want, is who you are. What's important to you? What do you value? What do you do for fun? How can you be relatable to that person? That's what the success behind social media comes from that sector. Not screaming to the hilltops how great you are.
Right.
Because just like a networking.
That turns me off.
Yeah, well, just like a networking event. If someone comes up there and tries to flash and just talks about themselves, they're pushing people away. But so if you just post those things on social media like I've done for the past 2 weeks, you're pushing people away, right? I have no problem saying when I make mistakes. That, I'm going to get back on track with that, but that's the power of social media. So, but anyway, so we're going to keep moving forward. Guys, virtually, we all there? We good?
All good.
Okay, all right, good deal. Let's see here. We can figure out how to. Oh, there we go. All right. A reminder for guys virtually, if you want this in a better situation or instead of on the screen, make sure and go to Dropbox. The handout is uploaded in there, and so you can follow along that way. Market report, sales and inventory, very quickly, because we've only got about 25 minutes to go over these numbers, but very, very quickly. Give me one word answers to how you personally feel the market is right now. Donna, if you could describe it in a couple words, how would you describe the market we're in?
Building.
Building, lots of new construction?
No, I mean, it is starting to, the caboose is catching up with the train.
So,
You know what I'm
we're
saying?
gaining momentum.
Gaining momentum.
Okay.
That's what
Abby?
I want to say.
I would say evening out.
Evening out as far as leverage with buyers and sellers? Okay. Well,
I mean, personally, I have no longer am the waiting, it's actually happening now.
It's
So
happening,
I'm seeing
yeah.
a movement, which
Yeah.
is good.
the last 3 months of planting seeds is finally you're coming to harvest. Okay. Kennedy? You're really talkative today. All right. All right, fair enough. Aaliyah?
I would say balance.
Balanced? All right. Balanced. Carol, if you describe the market in a couple words, how would you describe it?
I'd say static.
Static?
Okay.
What do you mean by static?
So it's
Stagnant or static?
static.
Okay.
Like it's 1 minute it seems like things are turning around, the next minute it's like, oh crap, what happened?
Okay. All right. The water's on and off. Got it.
Right,
All
right.
right.
Right?
Mugs, what
I
would
think
you?
it's improving though. I think it's improving from where we were 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think as we all keep saying, get this election behind us. Well, then you got holidays to deal with. So there's always going to be an excuse as to why the market is what it is.
Sure.
But I see it as a little bit static but improving.
Okay. Muggs?
Right now, I would say I'm very cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. I like it. Moving in the right direction. Danny?
I'd say I'm a little confused on how it's going, but.
Confused? Okay, yeah, like most people are. We don't know whether it's up or down.
We're all confused.
So, we'll dive into the numbers and it just gets more confusing every month. So, Brittany, anything to add?
I feel like it's getting neutral.
Neutral? Okay, balancing out. No one. Okay, all right. Brenda?
Slow right now, but I am confident that it will pick up soon.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. All right.
Welcome, Brenda.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Brenda was on earlier. Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about to the company.
Yeah, welcome, Brenda. We're happy to have you. I'm sorry, Don. Yeah. Blake just signed on. Good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's get back. Sorry, I'm on a time crunch. I want to get over this. I get excited about numbers. All right. So sales and inventory year over year. Median sales price is up. So, which is kind of interesting. Average sales price is down though year over year comparing to last month. I don't know about you guys. Have you seen a lot more investors pick up?
Yes.
I personally, yeah, I hope so for Haynes. Yeah, exactly. But no, so I've seen a lot of lower priced homes start moving very, very quickly. I've seen a lot more investor activity, a lot more investor phone calls. I've got a couple properties going to be listed this week that are investor style homes. Lots of activity in that area, and I think that's what drives that average sales price down. Right? It's not so much that the price of homes have gone down. Remember, it's just where the homes are actually selling. That's what that means.
We are seeing a lot of price reductions though.
Well, people are realizing we aren't in the unicorn market anymore.
Exactly.
They have
need to get into reality.
Sellers have to be aggressive and competitive when they enter the market because they are losing leverage. That's what's happening. Days on market are up 11 days year over year, but we are still at a 97.8% sold to list price. So that's still very, very strong. I remember if you pull the numbers in like 16, 17, 18, and 19 it was better, but we were averaging somewhere around the 94 to 95 mark. That means that whenever you're below like that, this is just what I've found by looking at the numbers. Anytime you start dropping below that 98, 97% list price to sale price, that normally is a direct correlation with days on market at a neutral territory, meaning you're at the 60 to 90 day mark, right? That's what that is. And also sellers are having to make adjustments rapidly through there, right? So we're on track to have slightly more sales and an increase in sales price year over year, but days on market are increasing, which is, to Muggs and Danny's point, very, very confusing. How are home prices continuing to go up? Days on market still going on, buyer demand falling, very, very strange market. So, real estate trend indicator, this is really phenomenal for finding out where the buyers are buying. This is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to that, because what it does is it gives you the number of 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4+ bedroom homes that have sold, how many are active, pending, expired, all the fun stuff, but it breaks it down into different price points. The reason this is important, so when you're at a listing appointment, you can set proper expectations for a property, right? You can, that way you set, when you set proper expectations, the less problems you have going down the road. But the biggest thing is, from a days on market standpoint, so average days on market 0 to 30 is still leading at 136 units. They're sold under 30 days, but 120 took 30 to 60 days. The vast majority of homes are moving to that, and we've just seen an increase every time we do this market report, every time we do this sales meeting, we just keep seeing an increase of the number of homes that are in that 30, that sell between 30 to 60 days versus less than 30 days. We're moving to more a market where it takes longer to sell houses, and I can't emphasize enough how important it is to convey that information to the seller. That way they understand that they will expect their property to sit on the market 60 days, right? If you set that expectation, you're a hero when you sell it in 35 days, right? It really helps make sure the seller is never angry at you. I don't know how else to word that. You set proper expectations. But tons of inventory in the 3 to 600 range. I mean, they're active. So 3 to 350, there's 133 properties. 350 to 4, there's 135. 4 to 5, there's 102. 5 to 6, there's 111. Active right now. Tons and tons and tons of inventory right there. Partially due because all of the builders build in the highest yield price range, where they can make the most money, not where they sell the most. So whatever price point builders are building, they've already done the numbers. I've talked to about it in the past. That's a Burger King model. Pay attention to where the builders are building. That's where they make the most money, and that's where normally the second or third biggest buyer pool's at. Always, always, always. If you really look at it that way, there's not a whole lot of active below 250. If they are, normally they're overpriced or worn out properties, just because buyers are not settling anymore. It has to be nice, clean, move-in ready. Buyers aren't settling. They want more than 4 walls and a roof. They want a home, and make sure sellers know that. So moving forward, we'll get down to the nitty-gritty numbers. This is homes for sale. The very top graph. There has been a big shift on inventory. Very, very big shift on inventory. Over the past 5 years, we can see at 2019, before pre-pandemic, we were sitting pretty average around, somewhere around the 1,800, 2,000 home mark. And then currently right now, we're about 1,400 homes active on the MLS. So we're still low on inventory. But then when you break it down into counties, Elmore and Autauga counties only have about just over half of the inventory. Now, Montgomery is continuing to rise very, very quickly on the amount of inventory there. There's lots and lots of inventory coming to Montgomery. People are putting up their homes for sale. So, let's see here. Going down the next slide, new listings, Montgomery. So homes for sale, the new listings matches the Montgomery line. You see that big spike month over month as far as new listings coming to market. That's the second line, or the purple line, but the second graph is what I was trying to say. Sorry guys, good Lord.
Middle?
Yeah, middle. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't even have to know how to count.
Yeah, but huge spike there as far as the number of homes coming to market in Montgomery, which is something to note, because let's say, and the reason I say it's something to note, because let's say that you're talking to a seller that's wanting to wait, that's in the Montgomery market. You can tell them, hey, is it worth losing money to wait? Because tons and tons of inventory are coming to the market. Buyer demand is not keeping up with those homes, and the more homes that come to market, the more aggressive and competitive we have to be. Exactly. Having homes on the market is not a good thing if you're a seller. The less, the better, right? You want to be the only house for sale in the neighborhood. That way you have all of the leverage. Right. And so it's great talking points when sellers object. That's why we need to know the numbers. That's why we need to be the real estate experts. That's why I spend a lot of time on these market reports, because it's super, super valuable. Closed sales. Montgomery, Elmore, and Autauga counties are all about average over the past 2 or 3 months. That's why it feels like it's hit or miss, honestly, is because we've kept this constant level of closed homes per month over the past couple months. A lot of it's fear. Most of the time, the people that are moving right now are moving because they have to, either because their life situation changes, financial situation changes, whatever it is. They're going back to the people they moved because of the 70s. Is that right? Diapers, diamonds. I think it's 7 of them. Anyway, we won't get hung up on that. So.
What you meant, the 1900s.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Wow, we're going back to the 70s.
Yeah. All right.
I think.
So, going on, moving quickly through these numbers. This is closed sales over 10 years. I put this graph up there because I want to bring things in perspective. Yes, the number of closings happening are down right now for what we comparatively were used to in 21 and 22 over the past couple of years. That's why it feels like the market is not good right now, right? That's why it feels like that. But remember, emotions don't always tell the truth. Feelings don't always tell the truth, okay? So when you look at the graph, look over to 2018, 19, 20, all of that good stuff, we're basically on par for that. We're a little bit more volatile because we've been volatile on the interest rates, we've been volatile in the economic environment, we've been volatile as far as up and down, right? Going back to Carol's comment that the water's either on or off, it shows in the numbers, right? That's what's happening. But in all, when everything evens out, we're kind of in the same number of closing style market as we were in 2018 and 19. And I took the liberty of pulling the numbers of those who were in business in 2018 and 19. Y'all had some pretty good years in 18 or 19. So it shouldn't stop you. It shouldn't put you in a negative space. It shouldn't slow you down. If you just pretend you're in 2018 and 19 again. You know, I think you got real through the year, Donna, in 17, 18, 19.
21.
Oh, 21?
Yeah.
I thought it was before that. Well, I thought it was going to be a good plug right there. Sorry, guys. I did the best I could. All right. Going over.
You deserved it.
Yeah. You deserved it in 18 or 19.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right. So going over that graph there just goes to show that the market moves, but in all reality and the truth of things, we're still in a very solid market. Right? We're still in a solid market. All right. Going to median price per square foot. This was the most interesting graph out of all of them to me. You see the huge fall off on Montgomery?
Yeah.
Remember I made the comment that it feels like investors are making a lot of moves? Investors are buying those properties up like crazy right now. I don't have a good answer for that besides people feel there's a strong belief that it's still a great time to buy right now that home prices aren't coming down. I didn't get a crystal ball in real estate school, so I don't know the future. But that's why it feels like investors are moving. It's shown in the numbers. It's not so much that the price per square foot has dropped in Montgomery drastically. It's just that the homes that are selling are in that lower price per square foot range, those investment style properties. So anyway, I thought that graph was in Elmore and Autauga. They are just, they're kind of flatlining right now is what they're doing. My personal opinion on that is I feel like Elmore County especially has squeezed. I actually had a conversation with a builder this morning at like 7:15. Elmore, the problem with the builders in Elmore County right now, they have squeezed the consumers so tight that consumers are going elsewhere to buy. Average new construction in Elmore County right now is well above 165, 168 a square foot. And they are staying there regardless of what's happening in interest rates or anything else. And so that's why you've seen that flat line, even though the used home market is still still increasing every probably 3 months a little bit on price per square foot. It's the new construction that's causing that flat line. I foresee, unless there's huge buyer demand that happens, a slight correction on a lot of that. I think they have overpriced the homes for the consumers that are buying in that market because they'll go elsewhere to buy. So anyway, month supply of homes available right now. This is over, let's see here, this is over a 5-year period. We're getting closer. Look at Montgomery as far as 2019, as far as the level of the graph. We are super, super close to that. Elmore County and Autauga, we're about a little over halfway there. It's just something to note as far as the supply of inventory. Remember, the month supply of the homes is really evident on who has the leverage, right? Who has the leverage of the buyer or seller? That's really helpful when it comes to strategically marketing or making a plan to market or making a plan to purchase, and that way you can prep your sellers on that. Also, I left the graph in here from since 2003 to where we can really put picture, instead of saying that it's not like 2008, we can look at it, right? We would have to 4x the inventory to reach 2011-12 levels. 4x. Very, very unlikely because most people still have the golden handcuffs on the low interest rates. There's simply not enough homes for sale, even though our inventory is gaining, especially in the Elmore and Autauga markets. Montgomery's gaining, but even then we're going back to pre-pandemic levels, which if you go look at 2019, we would have to 3x or 2.5x those numbers to get back to the environment that was, happened after 2008. From a numbers standpoint, from a supply and demand standpoint, we are nowhere close to that. And that's why I feel like investors have a very, very strong opinion on the fact that home prices are going to remain stable with the very worst case scenario. There's just simply not enough homes. Another thing to remember is Alabama is a destination state. And what I mean by that is that we don't have the best water parks or anything. We have the cheapest cost of living. Industries are coming here. I thought it was those that went to the, you were speaking the business, the MAR.
Annual business meeting.
Yeah, annual business meeting at MAR. I can't remember the lady's name. She had a lot of phenomenal stats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yep. But yeah, that one.
She is a phenomenal.
Yeah. But that goes to show you that they are still making pushes for like business development within the state, which is going to drive jobs. It's going to drive people. You do that with low cost of living. I think that we're going to continue this national divide of markets. And what I mean by that is I've said it before, regardless of political opinion, people are coming to red states and leaving blue states. People that are coming to means there's high demand for homes. We're in a state where there's high demand for homes that people are coming to. That's a good thing for our market. So we have some longevity.
I tell you, speaking on the terms of that lady, I can't think of her name, she was really good. But the River Region Economic Forum is on the 13th.
Yeah, I saw that email.
That is absolutely wonderful to go to. I go to it every year, and it's at Wind Lakes. And if you like statistics and what's the market that's going on in our area, in all aspects of industry and business, you need to go to that. You need to go.
Yeah, because I got the handout I looked through last year. It was like 90-something pages. I dug through that for a little bit.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. All right, so median sales price, again, notice Montgomery. Median is the average of the average, the biggest bundle. Again, lower price point homes in Montgomery are selling. A lot of investors are buying right now. Another thing to look at is the drop in Autauga County. I don't know what that's about on median sales price, but I saw a big drop since probably August. I mean, it's just a constant, excuse me, that's Elmore County, and then a rise in Autauga County. So there's correction going on in Elmore County. Then the median sales price over since 2003, just a reminder that even though it seems volatile as far as what the prices do, in the grand, when you really zoom back, it's a constant rise. Home prices always go up, or historically, on average, always go up. I gotta be careful what I say there. So, you guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, showings per listing, there's a slight uptick since last month when we looked at numbers before the election. Look for those numbers to pop up. Remember, this is data from Tripping Lockboxes. This is a great, if you want to know how active the market is, look at this on InfoSparks. You can tell as far as how much activity is actually happening in the marketplace in real time, because you can see how many times the lockboxes are being tripped. It's not 100% accurate because we still got people using coded lockboxes, but in general, it's a good, good Lord, Leah. It's a good gauge to see how many people are out and about looking at homes, listing homes, all of that fun stuff. The median showings to pending has actually dropped off, which makes sense because we've had a slight uptick in the activity of the market. So that means that it takes less showings for a home to go under contract according to the showing time data. And then lastly, the median days on market, which I thought was super interesting, was that Montgomery market has gone down month over month on days on market. Autauga County has shot through the roof. Elmore County is still on a slight uptick. I'm not quite sure how to make of that. I've got several different thoughts, but it's just something to pay attention to, especially from a month over month basis. So anyway, the last one we have, oh gosh, sorry guys online, I didn't scroll past like the last one. That is my bad. Median days on market, again, Autauga shot up, Montgomery's gone down, Elmore County's on a slight. This is over a 1 year. This is zoomed in on that. So anyway, final thoughts. Home prices remain solid and are up year over year. This is largely due to still having a strong low inventory environment. Remember, supply and demand regulates prices. It's the only thing that does, supply and demand. That's what it is. It's not interest rates or anything else. Interest rates affect demand, and it really and truly affect actually the supply more demand. But it's really supply and demand, which is your driving factors on prices. We're lower on supply than previous years, but precious years, my bad. But some markets are changing that statement quickly. Be prepared for a shift. We're moving towards a shift, especially in Montgomery. Montgomery is normally the leading indicator. Elmore and Autauga counties followed by 6 to 8 months. That's the reality of it. Buyers are taking much more time for consideration, meaning homes are taking 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes longer on average to go under contract. Make sure sellers are aware of the actual market, not what they remember a year ago. I think I beat that horse to death. Total number of closings are the same year over year, but down from previous years. We're moving past election, and almost every election cycle sees a sudden surge after election. Every single election cycle, you can look at the graphs, there's a sudden surge in activity, number of homes closed, and especially in this November and December, or really December and January, but you can look on the graph and there's just an uptick. Like, it's not huge, but there's an uptick because you've got literal people just waiting until a dog gets elected president or a cat gets elected president or whoever you, sorry, I'm not making jabs, Donna, I'm not making jabs, I'm just being sarcastic. But anyway, we're all gonna vote correctly, I'm sorry, Donna.
Please do.
But there is, you can look at the numbers, I'm telling you, I hope you've been working the past month building relationships, because I'm telling you, there's going to be about 10 to 20% of those relationships that you built that will make moves after the election, period. So there are tons of people on the sidelines. Make sure you are there, or you're their first call for after election holidays. Remember the season you're in right now. It's about building relationships. That's what it's about. It's always about that, but this time is more important than ever. And the reality is, if you haven't made it by spring or summer, it's extremely hard to play catch up in the world of real estate. Very, very hard. It's almost impossible, I would argue. Remember, we're in a state where cost of living is low and people are moving to. We continue to perform because of that. Stay informed, stay active in the market, control what you can control. Don't worry about things you can't control. Focus on what you can control. You control how many relationships you build. You build relationships by having conversations. If you want to build relationships, you have more conversations. It is that simple. It's not that easy, but it is that simple. So that you have 100% control over that. Make sure you're controlling what you can control. You can't control the election. You can't control interest rates. You can't control who's our, I don't know, mayor, whoever, whatever you want to. All the things you can't control, none of that really matters. Focus on what you can control. Okay? So where are we headed? We're moving for an upward tick in activity, more inventory, more buyers, etc. Make sure you're doing the things to be in front of the people when they decide to make that move. So how do we win in this environment? In short, we win by having the most relationships. Focus on that. The rest will work itself out. Promise you, promise you, promise you. Ask anybody that's been in real estate for any amount of time. There's an element of faith to this business. It's faith in having relationships. It's faith in doing the right things. It's faith in controlling in what you can control. Focus on that. The rest, I promise you, will work itself out. It may not happen in 30 days like you would like it to, but the 60 to 90 day mark, it's almost a guarantee. It's a guarantee. The more conversations you have, the more business you have. That is 100% factual guarantee, period. So from a specific action standpoint, focus on gaining inventory. You have to have products on the shelf to sell when people come in to buy. The people who have the listings are going to win, period. If you have the inventory, you win. Your business will go up. So if you're thinking about marketing, if you're thinking about, doing some type of new lead generation or whatever it is, I highly, highly suggest you focus all of your time, energy, and efforts on sellers. The fastest way to get a buyer is to put a sign in the yard. They actually call you. So if you want to build your business, focus on the listing side, especially when we all believe that there's going to be an uptick after election, because we all know that there's people sitting on the sidelines. We don't know what percentage of those people are going to get off the fence and make a move, but we know they are going to make a move. And what are they going to make a move to? Buying a house. Eventually they're going to buy a house. They're going to buy in this state or another state, whatever it is. They're going to buy a house. So if we have the inventory, we are set up for success. So that's all I have. And also, it's not a case study answer, but the last little part of this handout is top reasons to sell real estate over the winter. It's great ways of having conversations around the fact when people come to you during this time and say, I want to wait after the holidays. I heard it's not a good time to sell. I heard the best time to sell is spring and summer, whatever it is. There's tons and tons of reasons on here that you can quickly go over to basically have conversations around that. There's also top 10 reasons to buy over the winter. How amazing is that? Okay, so we are at 9:30. Appreciate you guys being here, showing up. I hope it was helpful. Remember, the more you know the numbers, the more you can be an expert in real estate. Does anybody else have anything to add? Because I want to be respectful of everybody's time. No? Online guys, anything else to add? Nope, we're good? Hopefully this was helpful. I appreciate you guys coming. If you need anything, give me a call. I'll see you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah. Everybody still like the market report and the numbers?
I do.
Knowing the numbers, having the handouts at your fingertips, helpful, valuable?
I do.
Okay. Making sure.
Will we ever be as excited about numbers as you
I know.
are?
Well, I try
Maybe
to.
not,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna say, I mean,
but I love the charts.
yeah. Well, I try to give things that